Hello and welcome to The Reasons I'm Broke. I'm Daniel.
And I'm Kelly.
We're going to switch things up a little bit here and start off with Marceline, number 5 of 6, because the big book did come out this week. I think we all know what I'm talking about here. But Marceline and the Scream Queens, number 5 of 6. Once again, this one is written and illustrated by Meredith Gran. We did have this be our pass of the week last week, but this time I think it's really starting to wrap up. It was a little bit better. I think the Adventure Time series is still the better of the two, but this wasn't as bad as number 4, I think.
I agree. I would still, with the amazing things that came out this week, this is still my pass of the week. If you're following the story, go ahead and pick it up because it is the second to last issue in this story arc. Overall, I don't feel it's as funny as the Adventure Time comics.
Now, coming up in January, you do have Adventure Time with Fiona and Cake.
Yes.
That's going to be another 6-issue miniseries. What is that called? Gender swapping?
Yes, gender bending.
Gender bending has been really popular with the fans. One episode that came out, and now this is going to blow up, this book.
Which was a great episode. If you guys haven't seen it, it's everybody's gender bent, and it turns out to be Ice King's fan fiction. It's hilarious.
It looks like LSP looks almost the same, but has a mustache on.
So it's still LSP.
In the real episode, was it just the same voice actor? I hope so.
I don't know. Was LSP in the episode?
I don't know.
I don't think LSP was in the episode.
That one is coming out. Also, we got Star Trek, The Next Generation, Doctor Who, number 7, which I've been keeping up with. At this point, they are now infiltrating the Borg and Cybermen ship to actually upload a program that will free the Borg from the Cybermen. You also kind of ended on a cliffhanger in the last issue where they confronted Picard as he was a part of the Borg. But it doesn't really play out into anything here. They're like, oh, that's right, the Borg won't bother us if we don't move or don't bother them. So it was kind of like, oh, well, whatever. They got in the ship, got the program, got back out. And now they're like, okay, well, let's actually deliver this to the Cybermen ship and free these Borg and hopefully defeat the Cybermen. So it was all right. You know, it was more setup than anything. You're going to have a lot more happen in number 8. I know you really like Saga. We're actually going to be following Saga every month as it comes out. What they did was really smart. The trade, which we talked about a couple of episodes ago, actually had 1 through 6 in the trade. And then they waited a couple of weeks after that came out and released number 7 just to kind of help everyone catch up. And if you haven't picked up Saga number 1, go out there, buy it. It's a steal, $9.99. You get 6 issues in the story.
It's a fantastic story. We do have the big ones at the end, and I think that goes without saying that that's our pick of the week. But this was way up there. If it hadn't been for those big ones that we're just about to talk about, this would be my pick of the week. I love the last panel. Just cracked me up. I thought it was great. You get a great job with their backgrounds. Now we're dealing with the male heroes. Marcus is his name.
Yeah.
We're meeting his parents and, getting further into the war and that prejudice and how people just don't understand their relationship.
And in the ship, I believe that's his aunt and uncle, correct?
That's his mom and dad.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
Because I know we're getting the backstory to his parents, but from what I remember in the trade, it was his aunt and uncle that have been there. We don't really know what happened to his parents. I thought that's what it was.
We'll research it.
Okay.
We'll figure it out.
We'll get back to you.
Guys.
I'll probably leave it as an annotation on the video, and we'll see who was right. I'll put
Let's make a bet on this. What are we betting?
I don't know if we're betting anything.
Who gets to be broke next week?
Suicide Squad is actually going to be my pass of the week. Yours was Marceline. Mine's going to be No,
you know what?
Nope.
You know what? No, I forgot this even existed because it was so bad.
I'm the smarter one now.
I forgot because it was so bad.
This is Suicide Squad, number 14. This is a Death of the Family tie-in.
This is a nothing, guys. It doesn't exist.
The writer is Adam Glass. If you don't know what's happening in Death of the Family, a lot of the major characters are being affected. You do see how Harley gets kind of roped into what happened right before Batman number 13. You see how Joker actually got to Harley and gets to her feelings. If you haven't been keeping up with Suicide Squad, and you shouldn't because it's not a good series, Harleen is kind of cured. It's more of Dr. Harleen Quinzel controlling her than Harley Quinn. She's not as insane as she was once. And Joker can kind of see through her little charade that she has going on. And he understands that she slept with Deadshot and this relationship that she's developed with these other members. And he's kind of getting to her in that way and forcing her to be the old Harley Quinn, being, the Joker's puppy dog. But do skip on this one. This is my skip of the week. Batman number 13 and 14 do a much better job of handling Harley Quinn than Suicide Squad did.
And that art, what was with that dress? If you've read it, you know what I'm talking about. It was bad.
Yeah, they add an even worse costume on Harley Quinn. If you want to talk about Batman number 14.
Batgirl number 14?
Batgirl number 14, you really liked it?
It was great. I really liked it. It was probably my second favorite of the Batmans this week. I love what they did with Barbara's character and now confronting Joker. When the last time she confronted him was when he shot her, paralyzed her. And now she's having to come back and face that. And it's, following how she's overcoming that. In the last issue, Joker kidnapped her mom, how she's dealing with that. It was a great issue.
I really like that you brought up that she did deal with Joker last time, and that's when she lost her legs and she couldn't walk. But this time she's more angry, she's upset, she's more prepared, and she takes it out on these guys that kind of play that role of the three men that came to her in Killing Joke, and now there's three other men in Batgirl, except she doesn't have her costume on, she's just going at these guys, breaks, one of the guys' legs, and she's really upset, and it gets to the point where she ends up confronting the Joker at the end, who did kidnap her mom, and she says to herself, I think I will kill this man, I will kill the Joker. We of course know that's not going to happen, but we understand that the emotions running through Batgirl at this point.
Right, I thought they did a great job of pointing out also that Batgirl doesn't have a problem with guns. That's what she was raised around.
She's a cop.
She doesn't hold Batman's morals on that. So when the three guys break into her house, there's a particular line where she's remembering how they laughed at her the first time. And after she just destroys the guy's leg, she says she understands that they're so corrupted that she can wound them so that they feel it for the rest of their lives. And she doesn't have a problem with that at this point. But she holds a gun to one of the guy's heads as he's crying, and she said if he had laughed, I would have pulled the trigger.
Right, and she's a cop's daughter, too, which right there you kind of see where that mentality comes from. You see Gordon in her, Also, I think my second favorite of this week is Batman and Robin number 14. I like this one a little bit more than Batgirl because I thrive on that relationship between Batman and his son. I love that. Now, the only thing about this issue is halfway through, it's almost as if they're like, okay, so we got to tie this into Death of the Family. So they make everything that happened beforehand a part of Joker's plan, like it was his doing. These cannibals that are running around, collecting these people and sacrificing them and enjoying them and eating them. One of which is Robin. They make it to, at the end, having it be one of Joker's plans, the way to try to bring down Damian. That's all part of what he's doing. He wants to take down the Bat family one by one because he feels they are holding back the Batman, and you see a lot of setup for that in number 14. But what made this issue so great, I think, is the ending and the relationship between Batman and Robin, the responsibility that Damian has for the mantle for being Robin. And for a moment, Batman thinks that he's just being a child, that he is being as arrogant as Damian is. But there's just that little moment at the end that Damian shows, I do care, and this is how I care.
Yeah, it was definitely a great issue. I still like Batgirl more, but they did a wonderful job of even further developing the father-son relationship of Batman and Damian, and how Batman also has a hard time showing, yes, I care about you, I'm proud of you. He cares so much that he's really tough on Damian, but he can't express that. So they have so much conflict between themselves because neither of them can express how they feel except through being tough on each other.
Right.
And both of our favorites of the week was Batman number 14, written by Scott Snyder and illustrated by Greg Capullo. This one, you've been raving about it for days.
Yeah, it's so good.
I got a billion text messages.
When we last left Batman in number 13, he was getting ready to be turned into whatever the product is that Joker turns into after he's put into that acid, whatever he fell in. Not the thing that Batman threw him in or pushed him in, but what Joker actually fell in as he was a Red Hood. And you see him escape from that. I mean, I guess we're going to spoil what happened in 13, so skip ahead probably about 30 seconds here if you don't want that spoiled. Joker gets to Alfred at the end of number 13. And he is kidnapped, and you see more of that in number 14. And if you love Alfred as much as any Bat fan, this is going to be a very painful issue for you. I don't know if this is going to somehow be an ultimate outcome in the end, if something will happen to Alfred or one of the other characters, but I mean, this issue gets to you. This is the Joker embodied in a comic book, you know. It makes you laugh, it creeps you out, it makes you angry. You're going through everything that Batman feels as you're reading this, because you care so much about not only Alfred, but Batman and even, you know, his kids, the Bat family. We may not really like Nightwing that much, or, you know, we think Red Hood or Jason Todd is kind of lame. But when you see how much they mean to Batman, it hurts you, you know. I mean, this is what Joker has planned, and it's heavy.
And regardless, too, they did a wonderful job of, I think, further expanding Joker's character. You always knew that Joker had this obsession for Batman, but this kind of took it to a whole different level. The lengths he'll go to.
Oh, yeah.
Because of how obsessed he is. You know, you always hear the things, well, the Joker wouldn't exist without the Batman. And this, it was over the top. It was absolutely Joker on a level that you never expected.
Like, I'm going to read you just a little bit of the dialogue here. One of my favorites, I think, of the entire book. You know, he has Batman, right? Batman can't escape. He has him trapped. And Joker says, "See, now we can chat, my king and I." Batman says, "You're nothing to me," but Joker says, "Shh, don't do that. Don't pretend. Not here. Not to me. Your faithful court jester. And what does the jester do? If not deliver news to the king, bad news especially, the worst. The fleet has holes. The army's turned pacifist. The children's hands have rotted off, and they can't clap for the fairies." Like, this, it's gold. I can't rave enough about this Batman series. You keep thinking, wow, this topped it. Like, last week was so good. No, this week, how can they top this? And there's consistency with the series. It's not so much that one book is becoming better than the rest, but it's staying consistent. It's wowing you at every, you know, churn. It's
building on this foundation that they've set. That was a wonderful, it's great storyline. It's a great arc, and there's no letdown. They've consistently built.
And the art has kept up with it. The art reflects the writing so well. We follow Greg Capullo on Twitter, and one of the things, someone sent him a picture in here of a panel where the radio that Joker is speaking to Batman from, and you see Batman frustrated at this when he hears Alfred on the other side. But the radio, actually, the bars for the volume are in green. The little circles are eyes, and the little slot is like a mouth, but there's like a red design around it. It's Joker's face in the radio. And when they asked him if that was written in the script, Greg said, "No, that was all me." Like, you just see it's a true collaboration between the two. And I can't forget either Jonathan Glapion. He does a fantastic job as well. I know we talk mainly about Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo. Very overlooked. Jonathan is doing a great job too. There were 2 covers to this one, from what I understand, maybe 3. There's probably a sketch cover for number 14. Just go with the regular Greg Capullo cover. It has Joker in front of a bunch of televisions, which are all on strings, and he's just seeing the entire Bat family in front of him. That's my pick of the week.
That's your pick of the year.
So good. All right, another big title that came out was Call of Duty Black Ops 2. That came out on the Xbox 360, the PlayStation 3, and it will be on the Wii U. What you're watching is just a little compilation of kills that me and Riggs had the other night. Call of Duty, I think, the Black Ops 2 has been as good as Black Ops 1. I'm not going to say it's better yet. We're going to wait a couple of weeks. I'm going to keep playing the multiplayer. If you want to play me on the PlayStation Network, the PlayStation name is reasons I'm broke. We can run a couple of team death matches. That's fun. We're going to wait a couple of weeks, see how the game keeps playing online, because eventually people are going to find the exploits. They're going to find that gun that is super, much stronger than the rest, and there's going to be that patch. Whether or not they keep up with Black Ops 2 like they did with Black Ops 1 and balancing the game, we'll see. The maps, I think I like them a little bit better in Black Ops 1, but that's probably because I'm still not used to the maps in Black Ops 2. Some of them are too big for their own good, but I know they're for the sniping levels, and others are what I call the new Nuketown, which I didn't like. I'm one of the few people that did not like Nuketown. It's I don't know the name of it, but you're essentially on a cruise line from one end to the other, and there's no from what I've discovered yet, an underground path to get to the other side. It's one thing I didn't like about Nuketown. It's just 2 houses, 2 teams, have at it. I like my style of plays. I like finding the one way around the map and then coming up behind the other team and just taking them all out one by one. Every now and again I'll confront one, but that's why I run a ghost class. I'm not a sniper, but I do like my silenced guns and the ghost class and all that. The thing about this game, too, is it's got those different maps to appeal to different players. If you like to snipe, you've got a couple maps for that. If you like to run and gun, you've got that. My favorite map so far is the Plaza. It's really cool. There's a lot of buildings. There's a nightclub, which is fun because you can just sit there and listen to some of the music as you're playing. I've actually studied the different levels and the little details in Plaza, and then next thing you know, I'm shot from some guy, and I'm like, oh, that's right, I'm playing. Now the servers are a little buggy at the moment. People are bitching about it, and I always just tell them this happens every time there's a new Call of Duty. You got to give it a couple of weeks for the servers to really, hammer down and relax. If you don't like it, buy Call of Duty a month later. At that point there'll be probably a new map out. If you pre-ordered it, you've got Nuketown. Like I mentioned in the last episode, I didn't download it because I don't like Nuketown. But give it a month, and the servers are good by then. We also, like we talked about last week, we were gonna watch Justice League Doom.
Hilarious. Well, okay, I have the superpower. I guess you would call it a superpower.
It is a gift.
It's a magical gift. I can take any Superman, anything, and make him gay for Batman. Anything, and if you guys want to take that as a challenge, go ahead, send me a picture, send me a video clip. I will tell you how Superman is gay for Batman in that. So I spent most of the movie improving what Superman was really thinking, because as he's falling off the building, he was not going, ouch, my heart, because of this bullet. It was, ouch, my heart, because Batman is not here.
And don't send the picture of Superman kissing Wonder Woman, because what's happening there, Kelly?
Well, Wonder Woman once kissed Batman, so it's like kissing Batman through Wonder Woman. So he's just visualizing Batman because he once had that. That's all that is.
If you haven't seen Justice League Doom, Batman has a contingency plan for the Justice League. If they ever go rogue or go under mind control, he has a plan set up. This is how I'm going to stop all of them. Flash, Superman, Wonder Woman, doesn't matter. I'm going to take them all down like this. If they ever just decide to join the Legion of Doom, he has that plan. That is a part of Batman. He doesn't trust anyone, and that's, people. I've had this one guy that I work with. He's always, he's a big Superman fan. He's always like, he's exactly like Superman. He's like, he shouldn't have that. Batman shouldn't have that plan. He is a teammate. They need to trust him, and he needs to trust them. It's like, no, what the fuck, man? Like, those, you know who they're fighting? People like the Mad Hatter can get on any one of those guys, slap a chip on their head, and boom, now you have to stop Superman. You have to stop this super alien from outer space that has very few weaknesses. How are you going to prepare for that? Oh, good thing we got Batman.
Batman is his weakness.
It's not the kryptonite, it's Batman. Oh, Batman. And it's based on the book. There is a graphic novel, and I think I like the movie a little bit more than the book. Now, I still think that Ra's al Ghul should have been the main villain, orchestrating everything instead of Savage, but it was still a pretty solid movie. The main plot about it is this plan that Batman had set up. Someone gets a hold of it, and they implement it to the whole rest of the Justice League to take them down, and for just enough time, if not kill them. The whole plan was to kill them, right? But to stop them so that he can Savage can put forth his plan to destroy 2/3 of the earth and rule it. That is in his nature. He is one of the earlier stages of man, and when he touched he described it as a meteorite.
He slept next to a meteorite, and the radiation made him super smart, I guess you would say.
It advanced his evolution as well. If you see, his eyebrows became thinner, his facial structure also became more modern to man, not as ape-like or caveman.
And it gave him, he can't die, essentially.
He's immortal, yeah. It should have just been fucking Ra's al Ghul. Oh, he's immortal, all right. So come on. But whatever, it still worked. It was still a really fine movie. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was a great movie. It really showed how brilliant Batman is. Like, his contingency plan for everyone was pulled from their psychological profile. So it was them dealing with, I guess, what they feel guilt for the most, or what would bring them down hardest. For example, for Green Lantern, it was feeling guilt over Carol's death. And Carol's not dead. She's Star Sapphire now. But she blames him for driving her to be that, and he blames himself for that. So
there's a great line where he's holding her and he says, "I do keep hurting you, don't I?" After he takes her down. That is Green Lantern's weakness, that they do a good job of showing you how each Justice League member struggles.
I thought Batman's in particular, it was really dark. Like, Batman didn't make that up for himself. I think that was too smart for Savage to come up with. But it was dark.
It should have been Ra's. Ra's knows Batman. He knows his
Ra's
secret
loves
identity.
Batman. What are you talking about?
So it would have been like in the book, Ra's al Ghul takes the bodies of Martha Wayne and Thomas Wayne, and he threatens to put them in the Lazarus pit, which is pretty awesome. It's pretty cool. But here you have Bane. He kind of sucker punches Batman and throws him in the grave with his parents and buries him alive.
But to wake up next to your dad's skull, that's pretty dark.
No, yeah, I know, but I'm just saying it would have been much cooler to have, like, Ra's actually kidnapped.
Well, no, it's like, I'm gonna throw him in the Lazarus pit. Na, 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 na. That's what he's doing.
Well, that would have fucked with Batman's mind.
No, he'd be like, Ra's, you're a child.
You're done.
Love your
How could you do
sound
this,
effects.
detective? And
you just kept laughing at Martian Manhunter. He laughed so much. He's given a chemical, or they put a chemical in a soda that makes him secrete something through his pores.
Something flammable, yeah.
And then they light him on fire. So he literally screams, like, every time they cut to him, he's just screaming and on fire.
He's just
and this
yelling.
guy over here was cracking up because it's the funniest thing. And in between, you see, like, Superman falling off a building, wishing Batman was there. I think we have an image of that, too.
Yeah, I threw it up there.
Okay, he's thinking of Batman, like, holding him in his arms. That's exactly what's going on. Or you see Flash, and he's tiring, and he's about to die, and then you see Martian Manhunter burning, and just laughter.
They cut to Martian Manhunter at least 3 times, just burning and yelling. And I just couldn't help but laugh at that. And, of course, Batman gets out of his trap, because it's not something he came up with for himself, so he obviously overcomes that. And he tells the rest of the Justice League, one of the best lines is, he's like, the Justice League is under attack. And one guy goes, Alfred. He's like, by who, sir? By me. And then
he runs away.
So it was a really cool movie. If you guys haven't seen it, Justice League Doom. It's a little bit short. They could have done a lot more. Some of the character designs I didn't agree with. Like, most of the Legion of Doom is just showing midriff. Like, even Bane has his little belly button and
his little
abs
lingerie
out there.
on.
The Star Sapphire, I mean, she has the regular costume and whatnot, and Cheetah is a little bit different too, but I was expecting Savage also to have his little midriff showing too, just a hole in the middle of his suit, because he has to be a part of the group as well and show it.
There were some great lines in there, though, and, we could go on all day about Batman picking on Superman, and when Superman proposes at the end was my favorite part. That was good. Do we have a picture of that one, too?
I have a picture of them together, but they should see it. But
he's proposing at the end. Just don't listen to what they're saying. Understand what Superman is feeling.
He gives him a little ring box. It might as well be a proposal. A little kryptonite bullet is inside, which Batman opens in front of him, and you see Batman or Superman flinch. I just laugh at that too because I'm like, Superman
Batman doesn't care.
Does not give a shit. That's hurting him.
No,
but
Superman is flinching because he's worried that Batman will not accept his proposal. Because you got to understand, Superman's an alien, so from where he comes from, giving someone the key to your weakness, that's a proposal right there. That's I trust you with my life. And by accepting that, Superman thinks they're married now. So Batman better be on his toes.
Now Batman, he's just like, add this to the rest. What's funny is they're like, well, we're going to vote on kicking out Batman at the end of the movie. And it's like, really? You guys are going to kick out the most valuable member of your team? Willingly. Like, this is something you are choosing to do. Batman never once said, I'm going to leave. He never even really said it was his fault that the plans got stolen.
Yeah.
Like, even Green Lantern's like, I'm not against Batman having a plan against us to take us down, but I am against him letting his plans get stolen. That was pretty stupid of you. But Batman's just like, well, ignores that and says...
I came up with a reason for why. Because you could say Batman's stupid for letting... No. Batman let them be stolen so the Justice League will stay in line. Like, look, this is what I can do to all of you. Watch yourself.
I will destroy all of you. Did you plan on setting Martian Manhunter on fire? I was like,
Batman just needs to laugh at that point. Like, he remembers him screaming.
My plans got stolen. Not my fault. Never says, this was my fault. I'm sorry. No, he's just like, well, I've got a plan in case my plans got taken, and now we know where they're at. Problem solved. Are you guys dead? No? Okay, well then let's go stop.
Well, and he even says he didn't make those plans to kill them. They were to incapacitate them until they could be taken down enough to not be an issue.
Right. And they changed the Legion of Doom, or rather Savage changed the plans up so that, the Justice League gets killed.
Or would die.
Would die, yeah. Check out the movie. It was really good. We both enjoyed it. It was a good rewatch, I think.
Yep, and my challenge still stands. If anybody can send me a picture of Superman, and I cannot make it gay, I think we should send them something.
Yeah, tweet it over to us. @ReasonsI'mBroke is our Twitter. And, of course, like always, let us know what made you broke this week. @ReasonsI'mBroke. That's where you can tweet the picture. Another big release coming out this week is the Wii U. Comes out on Sunday. Mm-hmm. The podcast should be up by then, actually. You got the $350 deluxe edition, which comes with Nintendo Land, and the $300 regular system, only 8 gigabytes. The bigger one is 32 gigs. Doesn't come with Nintendo Land, and it comes in white. If you didn't pre-order it, you gotta wait till next year. I know people are hopeful that they're gonna get more shipments in. It's not that Nintendo didn't produce enough. They're doing the same thing that they did with the Nintendo Wii. They're holding them back. They're letting them out little by little, creating this frenzy. It's going to be another one of those, hey, do you have the Wii U's? Do you have these? Where can I get them? My kid now wants them. It's like, well, you're going to have to wait till next year. That's what's going to happen. If any of you did pre-order it, or you happen to find one or bought one on eBay for $900, you're going to find that it's a pretty solid system. It's got the HDMI cable on it. The screen, the battery life on the controller doesn't last too long as it should. You will have to charge it after a couple of long play sessions. But we'll have a full review of that, the system, and the Nintendo Land that came with it on the next podcast. We're going to talk a lot about that. Also, we have the Adventure Time Collector's Edition that we're going to be doing an unboxing video of.
I've already made my song, guys. You're going to love it.
We tweeted a little teaser of the picture up on Twitter. Once again, @ReasonsI'mBroke. And we're going to do an unboxing of the Collector's Edition, which comes with a steelbook case, special stylus. Make sure to check that out. That'll also be up later this week. I'll add an annotation, which you're probably seeing now if you're watching this later on in the week. But if you enjoyed our Batman Beyond unboxing, definitely check out this one.
And if anybody's actually following my Pokemon journey with me, I only got a little bit farther. Like I said, work is crazy busy, 6 days a week, 50 some odd hours on top of school and trying to move and craziness. But I played for probably about half an hour. I got Surf, and I got to the next cave after you beat that stupid global tournament stupid thing. And then you needed Flash. So then I had to go fly all the way back and get a stupid Magnemite that's only level 10 take him in there so he can use Flash, and then some stupid guy brought out an Axew and killed me, and I was so pissed off. I just turned off the game. Because his stupid Axew comes out, and he's like, Dragon Fang, and then I'm dead. In one hit, I was dead. All my Pokemon.
Those dragon Pokemon are not to be trifled with.
They're terrible. Where's my Lapras? Don't tempt me with your cheat codes.
Well, my cheat codes got the better of me because I needed a Pokemon that could use Strength, and for some reason when my rival gave me Strength, the cheat codes, the action replay must have fucked with my game because I don't have Strength, and I'm got all my badges, I'm on Victory Road, and I need Strength to get through it. And I look at my inventory, and I'm like, where the fuck is Strength? I look it up online, and I'm like, okay, so my rival was supposed to give me Strength. He did, though, but it's not in my inventory. It's just not there. So now I have to trade over a Pokemon that knows Strength from White 1, but I'm way too fucking lazy to do that. So I guess I'm not going to beat the Elite Four. That's the end of my Pokemon journey.
How are those cheat codes now?
Whatever. I had my Bulbasaur, and we had good times as short as it was. We beat all 8 gym leaders, and we went, no, we're champions. You can't declare yourself a champion. You have to beat the Elite Four. Nah, well, I would have beat them anyway.
My mom says I'm a champion. That's what you just did.
That's all that matters.
You just said, Mom says I'm special, and just left it
She says I'm the strongest trainer in all the land.
It's like you come out of school, and you're like a very mediocre student, like you get C's, and then the valedictorian's like, well, you should have done better. Well, my mom says that I was the best, so that's what you just did.
It really is.
Well, that's why I don't use cheat codes, and that's why I'm sucking at this game right now.
Well, you'll be a better Pokemon master in the end.
Yes, I'm the ultimate Pokemon master.
No, you will be a better... in Pokemon Black and White 2, I will say you are the Pokemon master.
I'm a Pokemon master. Who wants a Pokemon tattoo?
I think that about wraps it up for this week. Let's go ahead and recap on it real quick. You know, the challenge is going to stand if no one sends it. A picture of Superman that you say he's not being gay for Batman or thinking about Batman, and Kelly will turn that into Superman being gay for Batman.
No, I don't turn it into. I point out why he is gay for Batman.
Okay, you're right. Nothing changes.
He's always gay for Batman. The picture is still always Superman being gay for Batman. You just don't see it.
So you're just pointing it out.
Correct.
Everyone's blind to this.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's my superpower. We've been over this. I have like a sixth sense or...
Send those Superman pictures over to our Twitter, @ReasonsI'mBroke. #ReasonsI'mBroke. Let us know what made you broke this week. Make sure to follow us. I'm always putting up some pictures of some cool things that came out throughout the week. And also let us know on YouTube if you're watching how we can improve. If you're enjoying this, thanks for watching always. Thanks for subscribing if you are. You know, we're doing this. We're having a great time doing it, but we're also doing it for all of you. So you can, you know what comics to pick out. You can best use your money, and also for the video games. So you can kind of see what games are worth the $60 or not. Call of Duty, by the way, by the end of the week, I'm sure there'll be a used copy somewhere. So if that Nuketown isn't that important to you, which you can get with the Season Pass for $49.99, comes with all 4 DLC packs. Wait for the end of the week. Guarantee you there'll probably be a used copy somewhere for the Xbox 360 or the PlayStation 3. I think that'll do it. If you want to play on Call of Duty, just add me on the PlayStation Network. I don't play on the Xbox. I just don't have one. I don't have anything against the Xbox. It's a fine system. I just have a PlayStation 3. PlayStation Network name is Reasons I'm Broke. Once again, Twitter @ReasonsI'mBroke. Thanks for joining us this week. I'm Daniel.
And I'm Kelly.
Thanks for listening.